It's Lucy and Jeff going for walks and talk about banksters and Bitcoin and the apocalypse and stuff. It's Lucy and Jeff and tacos and kisses.
How you doing today, Lucy? Oh, pretty good. Just smelling some stuff around here. Smells like something's cooking. What do you think about bread and circuses, Lucy? Well, the circuses, they're okay. They usually have some pretty good tacos. And bread, I like bread quite a bit, but you know me, I'm more of a tortilla kind of girl, if you know what I mean. But if you try to take my tacos, you better get your ankle guards on.
Broke ankle!
But if you give me tacos, I'll give you cutters. Yeah, we're going to talk a lot about circuses today, Lucy, and bread. Doesn't look like they're going to have much longer. That's why I always got a whole year supply of tacos stored up. I got them hidden all over the place. That's smart, Lucy. We're going to talk about that. And lots about circuses, because we do live in clown world, after all. But before we get started, I just want to mention that a great truth speaker passed away just recently, Jordan Maxwell. If you don't know him, I'd be surprised. But he's been getting, he got quite a bit older, so he hasn't been doing as much lately, and definitely not now because apparently he just passed away. So he's one of the people who, you know, when you look back at like who really was ahead of their time and spreading a lot of information that a lot of people are only now just starting to figure out, even decades ago, there's definitely people like David Icke, who everyone thought was crazy until like the last couple of years. That's usually how it goes, right? Because people, you know, until they see this stuff happen, you know, part of them, they don't want it to be true. And part of them, they just don't believe it could be true. But when it happens, it's pretty hard to deny it. So David Icke has done a lot of that, of course, like on the political sort of angle, Ron Paul, libertarianism and Austrian economics for decades, anarcho-capitalism, people like Doug Casey, trying to think of any other sort of iconic sort of people who've been doing this for decades. I'm sure I'm missing some. Well, I guess you gotta give some credit to Alex Jones. He's been doing this for decades, and he's nailed most of it. So you gotta throw him in there. Trying to think, there's got to be some more. Of course, there's lots of other people. People like Osho were amazing. He took it from a totally different angle, more of a, you could say spiritual angle, but I find that word kind of weird. Like, what Osho talked about is just true, or at least feels true to me. And actually, from what I've done with meditation, I know, for me personally, it's quite true stuff. Who else? There's got to be, I know I'm missing some people. Like, there's so many, like there's dozens of others. But I'm trying to think if there was like one major one. Well, anyway, if it comes to me later, I'll mention it. But definitely Jordan Maxwell was one of them. And here's a great quote of his to lead this off, because this very much applies to everything happening in the world today. Nothing in this world operates the way you think it does. Banks don't loan money. Governments are not empowered to protect you. The police department is not there to serve you. Institutions of higher learning, colleges, and educational institutes are not there to educate you. The entire superstructure of civilization in the Western world is a combination of brilliantly put together and planned, well-planned schemes to direct the minds of the people in such a way as to serve their masters. It's kind of bothering me because I know there's some other major people, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. Put them in the comments down below. I won't read them, but like, so other people are aware. I'm sure I'm missing like some huge ones. But anyway, Jordan Maxwell passed away apparently around the age 82 or so, I believe. And so I'd like to thank him for his service. You know, a lot of people thank the troops for their service. But as Jordan Maxwell might have pointed out, the troops are not there to protect you. In fact, all they do nowadays is help to keep the system in place that enslaves you and impoverish you, and they steal your money. That's how they get paid, right? Everyone in the military gets paid from stolen funds. And we're going to do something on bread and circuses, because I said to my person, I said, let's start to put together something where we talk about bread and circuses, but without the bread. Because near the end of this, we're going to get into like the serious, it's super serious food issues that are going to be happening, probably starting in the next few weeks or definitely months, and getting incredibly bad incredibly fast. And I was actually watching the Ice Age Farmer. We're going to feature some of his stuff near the end here, and I think he said it, that what's the bread and circuses going to be like without the bread?
Bread and circuses is how you keep the masses asleep, and they're taking away the bread.
Yeah, what do you think about bread and circuses without the tacos, Lucy? Well, it doesn't sound like anything I want to go to. Yeah, me either, Lucy. But it really made me think, because a large part of the way they've kept a lot of people in the US, well, there's so many. I could go on for half an hour here, but I'm not, because I'm going to go for another hour after this. But they've done everything to just destroy people in the US. They don't even realize it. You know, I was actually thinking the other day, because I hear this question all the time, and someone asked it again just the other day. They said, how can so few people actually see what's going on? And, you know, I didn't respond because I've said it over the years like thousands of times, but, oh, I don't know. They actually give babies like 100 lethal injections before they're like 2 years old. Here's an image of it. Each one of those things has stuff that dumbs you down. It's got mercury and all that. I don't know how actually, it's a real testament to the miracle of the human body that a lot of people survive it, but it really dumbs them down. Then they got the fluoride in the drinking water, which is rat poison. No one seems to ever notice any of this stuff. And then they put them into government indoctrination camps for like 12 years, which is insane. And by the time they get out, most people can't even read. And they definitely don't know how to do anything. That's why they have to go for 4 more years of communist training, spend $100,000 to get a piece of paper. And they still don't know how to do anything. No one wants to hire anyone out of college because they don't know anything. They've never done anything. And they're like 30 years old now. Yeah, and sign up to our newsletter. Our next issue is going out probably today or tomorrow by the time this video comes out. I'm going to be putting tons more stuff on how to survive and profit during all of this in the newsletter. And that's like, for the basic version, it's around $15 a month. dollarvigilante.com/subscribe. So there you go. You got all kinds of, you got free stuff. You got a really cheap live stream. Got a really cheap newsletter. All that stuff's worth actually fortunes compared to like what people spend in colleges, where you spend like $100,000 to get your Bachelor of Arts, which means absolutely nothing. Right, Lucy? Yeah, I don't even know what they teach you. What is a Bachelor of Arts? You just learn a bunch of crap about nothing. They don't even teach you how to make tacos.
Tacos on my mind, tacos on my mind. Tacos on my mind, tacos on my mind.
Now, if you learn how to make good tacos, then you're gonna make some money. I suggest everyone do that. Now, I'm a big supporter. Maybe I'll start my own school of tacos. Lucy's School of Tacos. There we go. We got another business idea. Let's go get them. Oh, speaking of tacos, I see you've got some pollo tacos there. I don't mind if I do. Oh, that's the good stuff. Let me finish this up, and I'll give everyone cash. That's real good.